Hey YouTube, Doorman Prepper 1 here. Today I'm going to be talking about part 2 on my food storage of how I keep track of my quantity of what I have and the calorie count and how long it'll last, approximate. Um, you know, I found that this right here works for me. May not work for everybody, but if it gets you going in the right direction, great. Maybe you can take something away from this that'll help you. You don't have to do the whole thing. Just take what works for you and go with it, and don't worry about the rest of it because nobody's the same. First thing I did was I get me a good binder, and what I do is for every item that I store, I save the bag. If it's the rice, I save one of the bags because it has instructions, the measurements and stuff like that per serving, different methods of cooking it, etc. And what I do is I write it down on one line, and then I go by how many servings per container. In this case, this 10-pound bag has 96 1/4 cup dry servings. So, and I always do it dry, not prepared. That way you don't get a false reading. And I always tend to go light on my, if it's an oddball or something like that, like with my potatoes, it adds like 50 to 60 calories if you use milk. But I always do it with just the potatoes alone, just made with water. I figured anything extra is a bonus. And then I put that down beside of it, 96 1/4 cup servings on the same line, and put per bag, however size bag or whatever you store them in, or your units of measure. And then that'll be 170 calories per serving times 96, and you get 16,320 calories per 10-pound bag. And I keep them in line on one sheet of paper, so I don't have to figure this up every time unless it's on a new item. So it's a quick reference. And then the next page, what I do is, or next couple pages, whatever, I like to leave myself a little bit of room for future additions. I write down each individual item in its own block on the paper. I put like 3 items on the front sheet, maybe 3 items on the back. That way I can add, subtract, do whatever I need to keep a fairly accurate account of everything. I always write my what it is originally in ink. That way it can't be erased. But I always write my quantities, calorie count, etc. in pencil so I can change it. And I also write the date down of when I add or when I take away. So that helps as well. So you can see how quickly it adds up. And I also figure out my calorie count for 2,200 calories a day per person. So you can times that by 365 days a year. It don't matter what size family you have, whether you have small kids or not, they'll eventually go into it. So if you prepare, for 2,200 calories for every single person, you ought to be good. When I mylar the bags the other day, I did 87.5 pounds of food. 20 pounds of beans, 20 pounds of rice, 25 pounds of flour, 6.5 pounds of potatoes, 6 pounds of pasta, and 10 pounds of the oatmeal. And that total calorie count was 126,290 unprepared. And then divide that out by 2,200. That gives me, just with those right there, 57 days for one person of 2,200 calories. Now, yes, I know nobody's going to be eating just that. What I try to store is stuff that we cannot grow or would be very hard for us to get in a situation, that would just limit things. Like I said before, fuel prices going up, anything like that, problems just shipping, because a lot of stuff these days, as much as we hate to admit it, comes from overseas. I try to buy as much as I can in America. This par excellence is grown in the USA, so that's another reason I like it, other than it's one of the most nutritional of all the rices. And that's pretty much all I do. And I keep my calorie count on a separate card I have my total that I need for the members of my family in calorie form written out on top, and then I have what I have on hand for a year. So then I know the difference of what I need to do, and then it'll tell you how many days you have. So that's just the way I do it. It works for me. And I'm the same way with my number 10 cans that I buy. I write everything down, calorie count per can, servings per can, so you have an idea of how many servings, how many calories, and how long it'll last you. And it allows you to keep a pretty good record of what you have. And and another thing, don't forget the treats. I'm starting on that. The treats and stuff, like freeze-dried ice cream. Yes, it's a little bit expensive, but if you can catch it on sale. I caught some on sale for like $1, around $1, a little bit more per serving slice. So you can catch them on sale, and it's just a nice little pick-me-up. Everybody needs a pick-me-up when times are hard, or a special occasion comes around, a birthday, for a little kid, celebrations. I mean, no matter how bad a situation might be, how bad it might get, there's always going to be times for celebration. Even if it's just Christmas, Thanksgiving, everybody gets together. It'd be nice to have a little something, put back for that. And also, your cooking supplies. I buy dehydrated shortening powder, margarine powder. I'm working on butter powder to get some of that, just to have some. Just the stuff that we can't produce. That's the thing. If you can't produce it, try and stock up on it. It's hard to get shortening powder, margarine powder. It's hard to make your own cheese, so I store cheese blend. Bega canned cheese. I'll eventually be doing a review on that as well. I absolutely love this stuff. It's delicious. But anyway, that's just how I do my labeling and stuff like that. And I also keep, the number 10 cans in boxes labeled. I do mine, I label them food box number 1, 2, 3, etc. And then in here, I have it wrote down what is in that box, so I can look at a glance, find out what it is, and go with it. So that's just the way I do it. Y'all take care. Have a good one. Bye.